morning, boys and girls. Welcome to another week of home learning. It's now week 8, and we're continuing to learn a little bit more about persuasive writing. Our learning intention today, we are learning to use a plan to compose a persuasive text. Our success criteria is, I can understand the purpose of a persuasive text, use the correct persuasive writing structure, use conjunctions to connect my opinions and my reasons, and use the Oreos scaffold to write a persuasive text. Do you like eating Oreos? You're probably thinking, what do Oreos have to do with writing? Today we are going to learn how Oreos can help us in our persuasive writing. So before we start the lesson, I want you to watch this YouTube clip on Oreos and opinion writing. Down the bottom you can see I've got the YouTube address, or you can click the links that are in our learning timetable or in your writing folder. So stop the video now and just go and watch the clip. So let's review what you've just learnt. Oreo is an acronym, so for every letter it stands for something. The O stands for opinion. The opinion tells the reader how you feel about the topic. R is a reason. You're telling the reader why you feel this way. E is for examples. This is to give the reader examples of why you feel. Remember, we're trying to persuade them to think like we think or to feel a way that we do. So not only do we have to give them a reason, we have to back it up with some examples. And lastly, we're going to finish off with our opinion again, to tell the reader one more time how you feel about a particular topic in your conclusion. As always, I've chosen another story for you to listen to. Here's another example of a persuasive text. This is a really good story. It's called The Perfect Pet. It's about a girl called Elizabeth, and she's trying desperately to convince her parents to allow her to have a pet. So once again, I've got the YouTube address, or you can click on the link in your writing folder or in your learning timetable. So did you enjoy the story? Poor Elizabeth, it didn't quite work out how she planned. She didn't end up with a pet bug, and he is a very pampered bug, but I think she really wanted a bigger animal as a pet. And she found out that surprising her parents in bed or in the shower or when they were eating just didn't work. So maybe if she put it down on paper, she might be a little bit more convincing. And that's where I'm going to come in. I'm going to use the Oreo plan to put her arguments down on paper. Now remember, Oreo stands for O for opinion, R for reason, E for example, and O for opinion. And just like we learned on the video, a fat Oreo is the best Oreo because it's more convincing. So my Oreo is going to be spelled O-R-E-R-E-R-E-O. I'm actually going to have 3 reasons to really try and convince her parents to buy her a pet. So her opinion was, I need a real pet. Plants are nice, but you cannot play with or cuddle a plant. Reason number 1, I believe a horse would make a perfect pet because it would teach me to be more responsible. Now she's going to back that up with an example. I would ride it, give it exercise, and feed it carrots and lumps of sugar. So notice how her examples is backing up how she's going to be responsible. Her second reason. Secondly, a dog would make a perfect pet because I would never be lonely or bored. And to back it up, she's saying, I could take the dog for walks, teach it tricks, and play fetch with it. Her third reason, finally, a cat would make the perfect pet because it would help clean up around the house. Now, I really liked her examples on this one. The cat could lick the plates clean, drink the leftover milk, and we would always know what to do with the extra string. So now she's got to sum it up with her opinion again. For these reasons, it's clear that we need a pet. Any of the animals I have mentioned would make a perfect pet. Well, hopefully, if they read this, they might reconsider their answer. Now it's your turn. I want you to listen to another story, and it's called I Want an Iguana. This story is a really good persuasive text too, and it's about a little boy called Alex. Now, Alex really wanted to get his friend's baby iguana, so he decides his way to convince his mother to do it was to write lots of letters. And in his letters, he wrote different reasons, and he also had some really good examples of why he should get the iguana. So, as you listen to the story, make sure you've got a pencil and paper. I want you to write down 3 reasons and 3 examples Alex gave his mum of why he should be allowed to get the baby iguana. Now, as you listen, you can stop the video as many times as you need to write them down. So once again, you can see I've got the YouTube address, or you can click on the links that I've got in your learning timetable or in your writing folder for week 8. So here's your writing task for today. You're going to do for Alex what I did for Elizabeth. Instead of Alex having to write all those different letters, he's just going to write it in one persuasive text. Now, you've already got his 3 reasons and examples to back them up. You just have to begin with stating his opinion at the beginning and at the end. So start by telling his mum what his opinion is on the topic, why he wants that iguana. And then you're going to restate it down the bottom. And in the middle, you're going to make it a fat Oreo by writing those 3 reasons and the examples to back it up. So once again, you can print off this worksheet, or you can just write it on a piece of paper, or you'll notice that I've made another Google document that you can just type it into. It's your choice. So now you've finished writing or typing your persuasive text up, it's time to proofread it. So we're going to use my 5-tick checklist. So, did you start your sentences with a capital letter? Now, I noticed last week some people were putting capital letters in the middle of their sentence. You're only going to do that if it's a name or if it's a proper noun. So check that one. Did you finish your sentences with a full stop? Did you use finger spaces between your words? And if you're on paper, did you write on the lines? Now your spelling. If you're not sure of a word and you have written it on paper, put a circle around it and you can ask someone. If you're working in a Google document, you'll notice there's probably a red line underneath it. If you click on it, the computer will help you by giving you the right spelling. Lastly, read over it. Does your sentences does it make sense? Have you missed out any words? Good idea to let someone read it to someone else. That often really helps. Boys and girls, just one reminder, if you've written your task on a piece of paper or on the worksheet, please get someone to take a photo of it and upload it into our Week 8 completed work document. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed our lesson on learning how Oreos really can help us with our persuasive writing. Now, if we were at school, this is where I'd be getting out my packets of Oreos and giving you each a biscuit to eat. My favourites are the Oreos dipped in chocolate. So, when we do get back, I owe you each an Oreo biscuit. All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you've written.